Hello, welcome back to Blend Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I want to talk about sushi list of sushi names, and let's say you have a task to convert a bunch of text into and scatter it into random sushi names like this. Okay, so it's a really simple task, right? You just need to have a list of sushi names like this in Japanese hiragana lettering, and you need to scatter the sushi names. The whole thing seems very simple. All you need to do is to have a bunch of text, and you just need to turn it into a list of text objects. So you can actually do that using Python. You can ask something like Google Bard or Perplexity, and it's gonna give you the answers anyway. You know, if you want to split the text or just to turn it into text objects in Blender. So that's definitely, I'm sure that's pretty possible. I want to give you the setup where you can use just nodes. In this case, just using SVerchok nodes and geometry nodes. So we don't want to do this. We don't want to do all this inside geometry nodes because it's gonna be kind of limited with geometry nodes. I tried to do that. So let's say you have a bunch of sushi names and you ask AI, okay, give me a list of sushi names in hiragana. Don't use the kanji because the kanji might not show up unless you have the font that can display kanji inside Blender. Just use hiragana. You can also use English, the Romaji version. Anyway, you have lists, right? Lists, and you want to bring it into Blender. You can use Blender Python to turn the list into a single text object. Yes, using this BPY, and then you probably you can put that into alphabet and do like a string splitting and things like that. Geometry nodes is not very good on that. Okay, you might be able to instance the text alphabet using instance on points and then pick instant randomly. Anyhow, that's gonna be like really not the best way to do this. It's gonna be a headache. Anyhow, I'll show you the solutions. Okay, so using SVerchok, I'm using Blender 4.0 and it's still 4.0 beta. You might need to reinstall SVerchok. SVerchok is an add-on, as you already know. I talk about SVerchok since the beginning of Blender Sushi channel. You need to reinstall SVerchok. I think this should be version 1.3 or something because it's probably not gonna work if you are using the older SVerchok. Uninstall and reinstall so you can have SVerchok custom nodes, so we can actually perform this. Okay, list of sushi names. Okay, I have this text in Blender, just list of text in hiragana. I can also just use this text in Romaji text English. Okay, supposedly this is auto reloading, but I need to tap this and then it's gonna reload now with the text. But the hiragana version is nicer anyway. So this is like text list. Okay, it's separated by lines. Reload it. Okay, and this gonna load into SVerchok like this. So before we look at the geometry nodes one, I just gonna hide this. So this is the one that SVerchok is outputting. Bunch of lists, turn it into bunch of text objects, all just streamline. Okay, we don't even need to run Python and things like that. We just need to bring in the text and then split the text using the string tools, split lines functions, and we just need to do the list splitting because it's SVerchok. You're gonna deal a lot with list. You can list anything, any data can be listed. It's actually really powerful with string and lettering and any type of data. SVerchok can actually do all those. So and then we can actually get the list length this way, get list length from level 2, and then just pass this into the lines, and yeah, we can just have this. It's pretty cool as it is. You can actually just use like okay, let's use option spacebar and type in vector p field. I've done this in the past. You can actually just do this. So I have a bunch of text objects, and then I just randomly scattering it. So there are text objects, and then we have only 22 sushi names. So I recommend you, because we already have geometry nodes in Blender. Geometry node is very powerful with instancing. It's going to be really efficient. So I recommend you with SVerchok just generate the text objects like this. Okay, we have 22 text objects, and then the job, SVerchok job is finished. Okay, the next thing we want to do is actually using geometry nodes to grab the text objects as it is. We don't need to deal with string to curve inside geometry node. That's going to be crazy. Imagine we actually have the like a 3D assets of sushi, all with different names, and we just want to scatter it, right? In this case, just randomly scattering it. And all we need to do is just to bring in the group, okay, the group collections, because they already contain the sushi names. We just need to separate the children, reset the children, and then in geometry nodes, all we need to do is just to instance it on the points. So let's use mesh line. Okay, this is mesh line. We can arrange it whatever we like, and we can actually, yeah, this is all the sushi names that we have. If we want to have the number of points, the counts, okay, the counts, let's say if we just break this, increase the count, we can have unlimited sushi, just the name, sushi names, right? Stack inside geometry nodes, and we can randomize the sushi names. We know from the collections we can get the length of the size of the how many sushi, right? Just get the domain size, calculate the instance, and then pipe this as a max number random value, and then we can randomize the sushi names like this. Okay, that's our job is done. We can have 50 sushi or 100 sushis, no problem. We could have it as a grid. It's a grid of sushi names, all randomized. As we already know, the metric is made of sushi. So we have this random grid with sushi names. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to mention with the SVerchok, make sure if you are doing things like sushi names like this in Japanese hiragana, you might want to set up the text font from here, from these properties. I'm using this Monomaniac one regular font from Google. Okay, so back to geometry nodes. We have a grid of sushi names, unlimited sushi, whatever you want, whatever you like. Okay, that's the grid. In this case, we just want to have it as a volume. So this is what I have. This is what I have. -5 to, okay, let's make it -10, 10, 10, 10. We can increase this to whatever we like, but just make it 10 by 10 by 10 cube with random sushi names, and just scatter it. You can do other things like rotating the sushi names, but this is more like a 3D typography. I think not many people doing 3D typography the way I have shown you. Maybe I'm the only one. No, I think maybe there are other people as well, but this is just random sushi names arranged in 3D, and the whole thing is becoming really streamlined. And also, like I said, you can perhaps do this using Python, Blender Python. Just here, I'm usually juggling between Perplexity AI and Google Bard, because Google Bard can perform Python beautifully. Just, you can tell it, okay, in Blender Python, I want you to grab, I get a list of sushi names like this from Perplexity, for example, sushi names, and I just tell it, okay, I bunch of sushi names, turn it into text objects, but do like instancing. Instead of generating 1000 text objects, it's gonna be really slow. Use instancing. So we have like 22 text objects, just instance it randomly, like in this case, the one where I'm showing you here. Right, simple. Scatter it so it's filling up the scene. So this is just sushi names, but if you can also tell Blender, so you get these random sushi names. Now replace each of the assets with real sushi. So you grab the assets from Sketchfab or something, and then just replace all of them. Replace the sushi names with actual sushi objects. So that could work, right? So I think that's probably the whole lesson of tutorial here. So names, text, whatever we have. This could be like for interior design as well, but in this case, it's really just a 3D typography. We can randomize the color. Yeah, I think it's nicer like this. Like I said, this is gonna be part of the books that I'm never gonna finish, but the AI can finish it, or someone out there can make a book about it, I guess. So yeah, the whole thing is streamlined from the text from the AI. That's the text. The AI gave us the name of text. In the future, we have a layout of something. We have a layout or a menu, and we want to arrange not just sushi. Maybe we want to arrange like furniture. Let the AI arrange the layout and then replace it with real 3D objects. That's possible. But in this case, I'm pretty happy with just random sushi like this, And you can always scale instances, do like a simple thing, random value, randomize the size. You don't need to rotate it. I think this is pretty cool enough. In the past, doing this is gonna be like, wow, it seems very complicated. Of course, you can do this using Maya or Houdini, but in Blender, SVerchok and Geometry Nodes working together is kind of beautiful, right? Because SVerchok add-on has been around for more than 10 years by all the different developers, and then Geometry Nodes probably should be able to handle this, but at the moment, with SVerchok, together with SVerchok, it's much more powerful. Geometry Nodes itself still and always be work in progress in Blender. So that's data coming in from AI or from Googling, bring it into Blender, turn it into text objects. It's very simple stuff. You can do this using Blender Python or use nodes like what I'm doing here. So yeah, hopefully you find this useful. Just random sushi names as 3D objects. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.